Today we're going to discuss 5 great acoustic guitars you can upgrade to for under $1,000. Hey, James Shee here at Tarpley Music in Fort Worth, Texas. You can always find us online at tarpleymusic.com. Please do me a huge favor and subscribe to the channel down here if you haven't done so already. Really helps us out, helps us grow. So we've got 5 guitars under $1,000 that are great to upgrade to, all acoustics. And there's a lot of them, okay? This isn't the end-all, be-all, 5 only ones that you can do. However, I found five different brands, different styles. I'm like, these are a great 5 to start with. I think are a killer for under $1,000 to start this list. So the beginning of this list is the Alvarez AD30CE. You'll almost always find an Alvarez on most of my lists, especially under $1,000, because I think they knock it out of the park in that price range. So the A is the Artist Series. This is the beginning of their Artist Series. D for Dreadnought. The C and E is for Cutaway and Electric, okay? So, you just started gigging, you just started playing out. I want a great, just basic, good sounding Dreadnought that I can get higher on the neck, be able to plug in. Boom. This would be a great starting point for that. So, it's a solid Sitka spruce top, killer top for that. This is mahogany back and sides. And then this is actually a real bone nut and real bone saddle, which is great for this price. So it holds tune very well, a lot of sustain, and they're extremely durable as well. So the bracing on this guitar is pretty cool because it has a standard X bracing, which Martin invented years ago, right? So we get that X brace on there because we want the top really thin so it vibrates a lot and gets sound out. That's why the top is often referred to as the soundboard, because it's literally what's moving and creating that sound. So the X makes it stronger as you've got a thin top. Well, this is the FST. This is a forward shifted X, so it shifts the X a little bit close to the sound hole, so you get more room kind of back here, and it does add to the volume. This is a really loud guitar for the money, and I just love it. So it's a really flat radius, 16-inch radius on the fretboard. Great for single note playing, and this is actually a Techwood bridge and fingerboard. It's a 25.5 scale length, which is from the nut to the bridge. It's pretty normal for acoustic. So very standard, killer Dreadnought, but we got a cutaway. We got some electronics in here, solid top. It's a great guitar. So we're going to play a little bit. This is the AKG C214. This is a great large diaphragm condenser mic. Very simple technique of just kind of pointing towards the sound hole, a little bit towards the 12th fret. We're just going to hear what it sounds like. And we're going to do this on all the guitars that you hear in this video so you can hear the difference of the guitars in the room with a great mic. And that's all we're doing. Great sounding guitar for the money. So you need an all-in-one package. It's under $400. I've got electronics. I got a solid top. I've got a cutaway. It's a full Dreadnought size. You cannot go wrong with the Alvarez AD30CE. So the next guitar on my list is the Martin DX1E. Gotta have a Martin guitar on a list for under $1,000, and this one is killer. So this is actually the all mahogany version of this guitar. There are 2 other options where you have mahogany back and sides, but you can get a spruce top if you want a much brighter sound like that, and there's also a koa, which is kind of similar to this sound, but just really pretty. So it's a really cool looking wood. But this is the all mahogany one, and this is actually high pressure laminate. So they're literally laminating all these tone woods layers together. So, and a lot of people are anti-laminate, and I get, real wood tones, it can definitely be on the warmer side or the fuller side, and I get that. But what this is really great for is that laminate guitar is extremely durable. So if you're going on the road a lot with it, or you're just using it, maybe you're just tough on your guitars. I know some guys that will always take one of these on tour with them, so when they're riding on the bus or in the hotel room, they don't worry about it being knocked drunk because they're so durable. But it really sounds really good too. So this is the all mahogany version. It's a 25.4. so pretty standard on the scale length, which of course is the nut to the bridge. And then the radius is also a 16. And so the fretboard is Richlite. Richlite is a product basically of incredibly high compressed paper product in the sense of just density and getting something that is extremely durable and that sounds good, that is a little bit more eco-friendly because it's not taking down a tree. But there's a lot of, you can go on and read all the pros and cons about that too. But I'm telling you, from everything that I've played on Richlite necks, they feel really good. Tonally, durability, and feel-wise, it's almost ebony. So that's really what they're going after, is that ebony type of fretboard, which is extremely durable wood. And I'm telling, I think it matches up there, and a lot of people would agree with that. So this actually has a Fishman MX pickup in it as well. It just goes right here into to here with the 9-volt battery, and then you have your volume and your toner right here inside the sound hole. Great guitar, scalloped X bracing. Like I said before, Martin basically discovered the X bracing. What scalloped is you've got the wooden bars under. They scallop them, so they're taking out some material. Still keeps it really, really strong, but it's more air for everything to move. So scallop bracing, really common in your better guitars too. So let's hear this thing. Like I said, you're going to hear it's going to be a lot darker and kind of a warmer mid-tone kind of guitar, especially to the AD30CE. So let's play a little bit. You can hear it's very more tone. From a recording standpoint, mahogany's great because it's more focused kind of a tone. It's easier to capture because there's not so many highs and lows. So like I said, everything has its pros and its cons. But if you like you're like, first of all, I want to get into a Martin and I want one of those warm kind of really mellowed out Martins. So you can still do it well under $600, and you can get it in the DX1E. So the third guitar that I have for you today is from the Taylor brand, and it's from their Academy series. This is the A10E. So the really cool thing about this is you get a lot of Taylor guitar and a lot of Taylor features, but where they cut cost was just a lot of the cosmetic beauty stuff is cut out. So you're just getting the bare bones basic, but you're still getting a great Taylor acoustic guitar from that. So we're still in the Dreadnought family. This also is an electric. This has got a really killer, it's a full EQ, got a tuner, and your master volume on there. Very simple to plug in. So this neck is actually maple. What's different about this one, it's still a Sitka spruce top, so it's going to have a lot of that bright sound, but this is a Sapelli back and sides. This is actually layered also. So what they did is they got their best tone woods, those Sapellis, in these little layers, and there's actually a poplar layer. So Sapelli, poplar, Sapelli. And then, as you can see from here, the body is just arched out just in the middle a little bit. So you get a little bit more full body sound, but it's thinner here for comfort. It doesn't feel so big here. This is a 15-inch radius, so very standard, good flat acoustic radius on this neck. This is West African ebony fingerboard. Ebony fingerboard on a full acoustic, under $1,000. That's a really, really cool thing. So scale length 24. Yeah, so this one's actually just under 25, so it's just about half an inch or so, an eighth or a half inch smaller than some of the other ones. Some people literally just like the smaller body of that, or maybe if it's a child who are that's as they're growing, these are really great fits for that. A lot of women players as well, depending on your arm length. But a lot of it is real similar to what we got in the AD30CE, just kind of an upgrade in some ways. And you can actually get this guitar with or without the pickup. So if you don't need the electronics, you still get the same guitar, save a little bit of money without having the pickup in it. So let's hear this guy here. Same thing here. We still got the C214 by AKG, large diaphragm condenser mic. Sitka spruce, full sounding acoustic, feels really comfortable, but like I said, just some of the cosmetic stuff when it comes to binding and some of the just extra pretty stuff is not there, but it gets you down under $1,000. You can get a whole lot of guitar for under $1,000 with the Academy A10E by Taylor. So the fourth installment we have on today's 5 guitar plan is the Yamaha FST AVT TransAcoustic. There's a couple different reasons why I have this particular one on this first list of 5. One reason is this is a grand concert style body. We've seen dreadnoughts up till this, which is extremely popular, but so are grand concerts. You can see it's almost like a hard figure 8 style body. It's a little bit thinner here. It's a really comfortable body style. You also can get the Martin and the Alvarez, a couple of the models before, you can get from a dreadnought in a grand concert style body, and everything else is the same. So a lot of options out there for that. The other reason is TransAcoustic. If you haven't heard a TransAcoustic guitar, it's killer. It actually has a SRT technology in here. It's got this actuator in here that makes it have effects in the guitar itself. Literally, the guitar itself is going to produce reverbs and chorus. So someone who's really into playing and writing a lot, and you like having that reverby sound or something, you can get it right out of the guitar without plugging into anything. It's so cool. Like, it really blew me away the first time I heard it. I was like, what is this witchcraft? But it's so cool how it does that. Very cool. So, but the guitar itself, like I said, it's grand concert body. Solid Sitka spruce top again, so wonderful top for acoustic guitars. This is also mahogany back and sides, so a lot of that similar wood sounds that you've heard before. This is a rosewood fretboard and the bridge. Rosewood, probably the most popular fretboard material in electrics and acoustic. Is rosewood. It's very comfortable. It gets a warm sound. It's not quite as durable as your ebonies and stuff like that, but it does have a different tone, and you can get a little bit more out of it. So not necessarily better or worse, just a different animal there. This is a 15.75 radius, so right in the ballpark with a lot of the other acoustics for really getting a lot of finger playing. Your flatter surface tends to be a lot easier for that. A lot of your electric guitars, smaller necks, have a radius that's more like that for really complex chord playing and stuff like that. So it's a NATO neck, and it's a System 70, like I said, TransAcoustic internal sounds here. So I'm going to play a little bit of it with the C214 mic, with and without the effects. And remember, the effects that you're going to hear are literally coming out of the guitar sound hole itself. Really crazy, but it's cool. So here's without. Turn on the first one. There's actually a room reverb, a hall reverb, and then a chorus setting on this. So here's the hall reverb a little bit into it, about halfway through the setting here. You can actually blend the chorus into either one of the reverbs. Such a fun guitar to play because of the way it sounds right here. It's just really crazy. So this is a great guitar to upgrade to even without that technology. It's a great grand concert style guitar with Sitka spruce top, mahogany sides. The neck is a little smaller for smaller hands. Me in particular, this one feels really good in my hands. And so just in that self, it's just a great guitar to upgrade to. But man, throwing in that technology makes it even better. So you cannot go wrong if you want to upgrade all your woods and have a different kind of sound here with the Yamaha TransAcoustic. So the fifth guitar we have here is the Epiphone J200. Now, this guitar is based off an extremely famous Gibson guitar, the SJ200. It came out in 1937, so it's a super jumbo body. Huge super jumbo body. Elvis, Jimmy Page, Dylan, George Harrison, a lot of guys played a big super jumbo guitar like this. So it's a design that's been around for a really, really, really long time. So this guitar made it right under $1,000, but it's a whole lot of guitar for that money. It's really based off that old SJ200. So once again, solid Sitka spruce top. This is actually maple back and sides, which when you put it on acoustic guitars, it tends to take out some of the lows and just and then give it more kind of a direct sound. So when you got a big, huge body like that, probably why they put maple on it was just to tone down the huge amount of overtones that are really, really possible with that style. This has also really got a lot of cosmetic stuff to make you think of that old school with the design on the pickguard like this. This is what they called the mustache bridge. Very vintagey kind of looking here, the tuners, vintage style tuners as well. The neck they put on it is based off a slim D shape, the 60s slim D shape. So a little bit more D shape here because you have a flat radius like that. And then it is a 25.5 scale length, so it's just a touch bigger for the full scale length and a huge body like this. Indian Laurel fingerboard, and this actually has a dual action truss rod in it for an acoustic. So normally, every guitar has a metal rod in the neck that's called a truss rod that you can adjust by pushing and pulling it to give some relief to the neck or make it more straight or whatever that. This is a dual truss rod, so it's basically kind of fail-safe if something goes wrong, but it holds a lot better. So that's, once again, that's just kind of a longevity thing in this particular thing. And this also has Fishman pickup in it as well, which I believe, yep, right in the sound hole there. So simple plug, but there's none of the body has been taken out for any sort of preamp or electronics and everything. So you're getting this full, huge, super jumbo body, and of course it is a real bone nut, as well as the saddle. So big, huge jumbo sound for people who really like strumming old tunes, and they're really kind of storytellers, and they're just strumming along. They want to have this big, huge jumbo sound to sing along with. Maybe not so much of that articulate playing and stuff like this. It's a way to go. It's a great guitar for those type of players to upgrade to. Make it right under $1,000 for that. So let's hear this thing. The Epiphone J200. Once again, we've got our condenser here, and we're just going to strum along and let it pick it up. Big, huge jumbo body, right? As you can see as I put it up right here on the back. Gorgeous maple back as well. This is actually a two-part maple neck that's got mahogany stripe right in the middle over there. So very classy looking, very vintagey, big, huge, super jumbo. Great for just strumming hard into, getting a lot of sound out of. So if you like that kind of style and you want a much bigger acoustic from your starter acoustic, then absolutely cannot go wrong, the Epiphone J200. So like I said, this is definitely not the end-all, be-all, 5 best acoustics you can get for under $1,000, but it is 5 great options to upgrade to under $1,000. There's a lot of great guitars out there, but these are 5 I feel really strongly about, and all 5 of these we do have at Tarpley Music. So any of these you can come down, take off the wall, and play yourself, which I always recommend doing because there is never a better way than putting a guitar in your hands to figure out maybe what you want to get up to next. But this kind of gives you an idea depending on, because it's a starter, you may not necessarily have a particular style or anything that you're playing. You're really just trying to learn the mechanics of it. But when you start getting past that point, you start, I really like this kind of music. I really want to start doing this. I sure want to do a lot of fingerstyle. I really just like strumming really old tunes. Whatever it is there's a lot of guitar options that you can go to in that. And so don't be afraid to come up and kind of just talk to your sales guys too. Hey, this kind of music I like, and they'll point you in the direction of a couple of these. But sometimes it can be really, really overwhelming when you get online or you go in a store and it's like, well, there's 400 acoustics sitting there. Where do I start? So I feel this is a great starting point with 5 guitars that I feel really strongly about under $1,000 with different kinds of styles and different kinds of woods and things like that. So I hope this gets you in the right direction. I hope you learned something from it and maybe interested in some guitars you weren't familiar with before. And really appreciate it if you like our video, if you enjoyed this, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and keep watching them. And as we drop more videos, if you have turn notifications, you'll see the rest of them. So we'll see you on the next one.